All right, so now is the perfect time to start talking about audio, audio clips, and audio events. Let's move over to track 4 over here. This is an audio track. I currently have nothing loaded on here. I don't plan on recording any audio in real time, but what I will do is add some audio, and then we can discuss some unique ways that we can play around with this. We can see in the audio clip slots that I have here, there's a plus button. If I hit this, this will bring me to the pop-up browser and I can choose some audio to load. Before I do that though, one thing that's really cool, especially if you're coming from a DAW like Ableton Live, clips are a container for events. We saw this with note clips. Inside of the note clips, we have note events. This is no different for audio clips. Audio clips can contain audio events. So inside of a clip, I can easily go in and I can split, delete, cut, copy, rearrange the audio events freely. Because of that, if I want to, I can create a blank 1-bar audio clip by clicking in the center of an audio clip slot, just like I would with MIDI. And then I could actually drag and drop audio events inside of the clip. It's kind of crazy, but we'll visit that another time. Let me go ahead and hit plus here. And here's samples and clips. All right. I want to find something little really simple. Let's go for some sort of, I don't know, a drum loop, a percussive loop. Let's type perk. All right. And perk loop. Okay, let's see what comes out now. That's the same one. I don't want that one. Okay, sure. This is fine. Let's go ahead and grab that one. Okay. So I have this percussive loop. Before we do anything, it's important to talk about how Bitwig deals with audio. Bitwig uses time stretching, and it's a native part of how the program works. So when I import audio, we looked at the dashboard earlier on in this course, and I have it set to stretch any audio that gets imported no matter what the length is. When I look at the audio clip or the specific audio event, I can see for the audio event, the mode, it's in stretch mode. Granular stretching, but it is neutral at the original pitch and tempo. I'm not going to go over all these in a lot of detail because they're explained here. What I will say is this: if your priority is to preserve the transience of the audio, if you're working with drums and percussive stuff, slice is your best bet. All right. If you're working with stuff that's more tonal and melodic, you're going to want to experiment with these different options to see what works best for you. And if you want your audio to be treated more like vinyl, you want to choose repitch. All right. With that said, this is currently set to stretch. It's normally 90 beats per minute. That happens to be the tempo of my project. Let's play this with the drums and hear how everything fits. All right, that works just fine. It's right on beat. Turn it down a bit. Okay, cool. So I dig this, but now, like I said, what if maybe I want to do something a little bit different? All right, let's take this clip. I'll duplicate the clip. As I look at my toolbar, I have the duplicate button pinned here from my edit menu. So we'll duplicate. And in this version of the clip, I want to do something a bit different. I already mentioned that we have tools in the editor that we can use, and the main tool I end up using is the knife tool. I want to cut the clip up, and I know I can press 5 to get to my knife tool. If you forget, your tools are here. If I need to change the grid settings, because right now my knife is set to snap to the grid, which is really helpful. The grid settings you can access in the lower right side of the editor here. All right. And right now, what is my knife or my cursor going to snap to? I only want to snap to the grid. I don't care about the events or the grid offset. Just snap only to the grid. And it's adaptive, so it'll change based on how far in or out I zoom. So with this going, what I want to do basically is kind of rearrange this. I'm going to make this a smaller loop. Let me just play this clip. And let's say I only want to make this a 1-bar loop. Okay, so some basic things I can do. I'm going to basically just cut this up, rearrange some stuff. And each one of these events is no different than a note event in the sense that I have operators. I can play around with the volume, gain, pan, and pitch. And I can freely change the pitch, change the stretch mode of each event. I can do a lot to rearrange this. So without talking, I'll just let it play and start to do some extensive rearranging of the audio. I want to copy and drag, hold down Option or Alt, depending on your operating system. Maybe I want this to play twice. So with this event selected, my operators, that'll play twice. Maybe I want this to be an octave lower. I select it. I have pitch here, -12. I want this to be reversed. I'm going to go ahead and select this. Event menu is here. All the things that affect events, I have reverse pinned. And you know what? I think that might be even cooler if I made it twice as long. So I'm going to scale this by 200%, stretch it by twice as much, but only use that first part. And let's go ahead and take this event, drag that there, and maybe that gets reversed as well. And let's take this, and maybe for this event, I'm going to switch this to repitch. So when I change the tempo, yeah, we have to scale this. Let's go to event. There we go. Nice. All right, let's hear this now with my drums. That's my modified version, and here's the original one. All right. This stuff being able to work with audio events inside of a clip, honestly, is the main thing that made me jump on the Bitwig bandwagon. And that was before you had all the operators and stuff that you could do to these events. So please don't sleep on the fact that you can manipulate audio in a lot of really creative ways within a clip. And we're really just getting started exploring this. Let's look at some other things we can do with audio next.